I guess that over the course of this video diary, I'm going to try and document what it's like to be a targeted individual schizophrenic in the modern British society. Indeed, to further this, I'm going to continue to go into my theories on the psychiatric establishment and the overall technocracy. And I've just been thinking about a certain topic. It seems that large percentages of Israeli intelligence are actually working for the Deutsche Verteidigungsdienst. Indeed, large percentages of Israeli intelligence seem to be subjugated by the networks of British intelligence and the Deutsche Verteidigungsdienst, especially the Deutsche Verteidigungsdienst, with the Deutsche Verteidigungsdienst networks connected to the Galen organization, training much of the Israeli intelligence apparatus and structure after the end of the Second World War, which is an interesting turn of events considering what we are told about history. Indeed, there are factions of Israeli intelligence that are attempting to operate against the Deutsche Verteidigungsdienst, but it's very difficult with the overarching power of those networks. Indeed, though I was surmising a couple of weeks ago that the Frankists were basically in control of the intelligence structure, this isn't the case. Indeed, British intelligence created the networks of Sabbatai Zevi and the Sabbateans as a whole, and this Sabbatean network led to Frankism, and it all seems to have been a British intelligence operation, most probably in tandem with operations of the Prussian and Bavarian secret services, a connection that I have examined briefly already. And it seems all these networks are connected up together, though I'm still yet to identify what is the overall guiding force, if there even is one, because I've also surmised that due to the factional nature, no one is in absolute control. Indeed, it seems no one specifically controls the world. There are just some very powerful networks, though the factions that are dominant within them are always changing. So it it seems that the British intelligence and the Deutsche Verteidigungsdienst networks are very keen to shut down the activities of the Rothschild connected bankers, the Rothschild family themselves, and the Frankist intelligence networks, thereby, with the release of the Epstein files and an absolute ton of information on the Rothschild family in the public domain, it seems these networks are being hung out to dry by the real masters of the cryptocracy. Indeed, John Scarlett stated that the Rothschilds are semi autonomous, meaning that they are not an independent entity operating with as much power as is believed by the majority of conspiracy thinkers and the wider public, who most people have heard of the Rothschild family. And it's been set up like that on purpose. The Anglo-German intelligence cryptocracy wants the public to have heard of the Rothschild family. Indeed, this is all part of the process of reining in and effectively shutting down the activities of the Rothschild family and their interconnected networks, much of the Frankist intelligence structure, and also various bankers, and even the state of Israel itself, what with the coming conflagration in the Middle East, part of the Albert Pike Third World War blueprint, whereby the political Zionists are basically shut down, which is shows that there is a guiding hand behind it all. and that the political Zionist networks are not at the top of the chain. Indeed, Albert Pike himself was of a cryptocratic network far higher in the chain than anything represented by the political Zionists or the Rothschild dynasty. As I've stated, the Gentile controlling factions of the cryptocracy tend to position people of Hebrew heritage at the pinnacle of various organizations to create an illusion that it is a conspiracy of Hebrews, basically. And this has been an ongoing theme for hundreds of years. Indeed, I've fallen for it myself many times. And even recently, I'd slipped back into the Frankist controlling everything scenario in my mind, whereby things just pop up and you get led down certain rabbit holes and start basically believing what the cryptocracy wants you to believe. Indeed, during my Gladio 2 programming sessions, I was programmed with a lot of basically Nazi ideology. And this was an attempt to harness me in some way for operations. And the I've lost my trail of thought, but the Gladio 2 programming, and now I've broken out of that programming, I've realized that all of the perpetrators of my situation have been British. So there I was going on tirades about different ethnicities when the perpetrators of my suffering basically were and have all been British and operatives of British intelligence, which leads me now into the reality of who I should be talking about and researching. Indeed, there are so many networks that link up. Indeed, it seems that the Deutsche Verteidigungsdienst existed before the Second World War as a network and were responsible, in collaboration with British intelligence, for putting the Nazis into power. The Nazis were a front. Indeed, they even positioned various Frankists in the public positions so as to throw off anyone looking too deeply into the scenario, and therefore they surmised that it was a Frankist conspiracy in some way and believed that they'd breached a layer of the intelligence shadows on the subject, when the whole time it was another network behind that network running the Nazi networks. So thereby we have the Nazi network supposedly being run by the Frankist network, but actually being run by British intelligence and the continuums that were the precursors of the Deutsche Verteidigungsdienst, which were very prominent in the Abwehr, the German military intelligence complex, and also a wide variety of secret societies and intelligence operations that dated back to the Prussian and Bavarian secret services, which included the Bavarian Illuminati of Weishaupt. And indeed, Weishaupt was a Jesuit trained Hebrew, which is very interesting, as the Bavarian Secret Service positioned him at the forefront of that particular organization so as to throw off the scent of any conspiracy researcher or indeed bedlam lunatic who would look into these networks. So once again, we have an organization, the Bavarian Illuminati, supposedly being run by basically Frankist networks when they're actually being run by secret societies and secret services of Anglo-German heritage. So this is the conclusion I'm coming to now regarding much of these operations. Indeed, the targeted individual program, of which I am these days a test subject, seems to be run by the Tavistock Institute, which was itself a joint British intelligence Abwehr operation. Indeed, the psychiatrists running what was originally Wellington House and then the Tavistock Institute were in constant communication with the Kaiser Wilhelm Institute for Hereditary Diseases, as it was called, which was basically a foundation, a eugenicist foundation for studying schizophrenia, which itself links to the Scottish Rite Foundation for Schizophrenia Research, which were the people that selected me from a pool of potential candidates to become test subjects for a intelligence program. And this is all linking up to the eugenicist agendas we are seeing in the modern world, with the beginning of a clampdown on the schizophrenic population, which shall occur after the initial purges of vagrants, basically. And yeah, it's all playing out in a rather similar way. This era of the implementation of technocracy is playing out in a very similar way to how the National Socialist state did. These things don't happen immediately, they're built up by the cryptocracy and brought in stage by stage, though things are becoming more obvious now. And the release of the Epstein files, as I have stated, is to shut down the Frankist intelligence networks and the Rothschild dynasty and those connected with them. So, indeed, all public anger will be directed against the Rothschild family and the Frankist intelligence networks, and the Anglo-German cryptocracy, the British intelligence and Deutsche Verteidigungsdienst networks in the shadows will remain in the shadows, and no one will go for those networks because they'll be believing that the Rothschild dynasty and the Frankist intelligence networks are as far as it goes, when this is not the case. It goes further. A study of the Bavarian Illuminati and the networks connected to it through the Masonic lodges leads back to British intelligence. Indeed, there were Frankist elements, but they were under the control of British intelligence, what with British intelligence having basically brought forth Sabbateanism through their choice of Sabbatai Zevi as an operative. And this is all covered up, though the information is there to be tapped into. Indeed, it's all very difficult to work out exactly what is going on behind the scenes, because the intelligence services have layered everything and scrubbed genealogies and basically scrubbed links, and it's very difficult to work out what's going on. But I also have to put up with beams while I'm trying to do it, though I am learning how to surf the beams, so it's beginning to get better. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there for now.